Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? Great to see you on tonight. Man, I'll tell you what, another exciting day today. Ripple XRP, XRPL for NFTs and CBDCs. We talked about both, but Ripple is on this tweet storm the past couple of days. But the one thing they are doing is changing the standards for moving money everywhere. They're all in. I was going to say that they were shilling XRP ledger for NFTs and CBDCs, but you know what? It's all good. This space is taking off and there's all sorts of asset class stuff going on with it. I was going to say digital assets. That's what I meant to say.
Digital assets.
Digital assets. So with that, Chip, there's going to be a lot to get into tonight.
Let's do it.
Ready to go?
I say why don't we get started? Let's do this.
Yeah.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome everybody.
Welcome. So check this out. Tonight's show brought to you by Permission.io. Permission.io. Chip, the last time I was online, I was using my browser and I kept running into all of these ads. Does that ever happen to you?
Too often, Jeff.
Man, I'll tell you what, the one thing that is certain is that they are monetizing off of us. We get nothing, zero. Permission.io is on the mission to change that. Check out their browser extension. If you go to permission.io, you can download the browser extension. Every so often, they're going to ask you, hey, do you want to engage? You want to watch this video? You say yes. And when you do, you get to earn the Ask token. That's ASK token. The Ask token, really cool. It's going places, man. They just did this whole Google Cloud thing. They're going to start running nodes over there. I know there's a lot of other announcements coming up in the near future with their platform. It's exciting to see the development and seeing what they're doing, changing the ad space and the monetization of your data because it's your data. So Chip, right. What else, man? What else is good?
Well, it's kind of a sad thing. It's like the end of our, sort of the semi-end of our streaming week. Start on Sunday, we kind of get to Thursday, we get that Friday break, you do Saturdays, and boom, we start all over again on Sundays. But yeah, today's been more like those crazy upside down days. Like, should have been Friday, but it's not. Like, I would have been happy if it was Friday because that's the way Fridays are supposed to go. It's not supposed to be transiting into another day called Friday tomorrow, but that's it. If you're one of our Aussie fans or you're from New Zealand or on that side of the world, then you are already on Friday. So good on you.
Man, that's crazy. Upside down Friday. I like it.
Upside down. It was inside out.
Inside out. Nice.
Got so, turning inside.
So Chip, what are your thoughts on NFTs and CBDCs and the XRP ledger? Kind of getting involved with all of those things.
You know, Jeff, once upon a time, we talked about the Yeti coin. Now, the Yeti is a mythical creature, who, he's kind of like Bigfoot, right? Except he lives in the Himalayas. It's a very similar type of a story.
It's very cool.
And he's a mythical sort of a creature, but he has like a lot of cool like properties. So, when I think of like NFTs, I think of like, cool stuff. I think of like coins. Like we really talked so hard about doing that Yeti coin. I think we have to sort of engage in that conversation again, get that Yeti sort of spun up again. But I got to tell you, I've really started to get into NFTs, and it's almost like I'm trying to put it into words here. It's kind of a never-ending rabbit hole. Check out this project. Oh my God, look at this. Look at this limited edition thing. And it's like there's so much going on, whether it's on Rarible, OpenSea. Now we're excited about Flare Finance. Said that in a tweet the other day that they're rolling out a component of the NFT. And that's exciting to me because I saw something today where it said Solana was basically challenging ETH, right? And for a lot of reasons, but they were making the point about they don't expect it to always continue to be parabolic, but the fact is it's been making some really strong inroads. But I look at stuff that's coming to I look at what Flare Finance is doing. I think if they introduce that NFT component, it's going to be pretty badass on top of other things, because technically you'll be able to do things with an NFT you'll be able to earn dividends. You'll be able to do stuff. You'll be able to stake it. You'll be able to engage in some other activities, kind of stuff that's not really being done that, Flared Finance is going to bring to the table. So that part of it is pretty exciting to me. How about you? What are your takes?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the same thing. And then I was digging in to what's going on here with NFTs with Ripple. And it's funny because Ripple has really been on a tweet storm the past couple of days. And if you missed it, they're re-referencing a lot of things that have been brought up over the past months. So this goes back, if you look at this one, this was NFT related. August 30th, all of a sudden, NFTs are changing the landscape of blockchain world. Our CTO, Joel Katz, breaks it down, right? So you're like, what's going on? Why all of a sudden are they all fired up about this? Now, he broke it down in April, right? So they're just tweeting about this. They did the same thing with CBDCs, but check this out. David Schwartz does this comparison between fungible and non-fungible tokens. Are NFTs a trend, right? He gets into this, but I thought what was interesting, Chip, is this part right here. The 5 layers of NFTs. And he shared, successful NFTs are not just something every blockchain supports, but this is the 5 layers. And this was something, I don't know, somehow I missed this. I'm not sure. We have infrastructure, minting, publishing and storage, custody, marketplace, and swap. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I will say that one of the things that he does mention in there, because I remember watching that, or I might have seen a clip of it recently, but I remember David Schwartz was going into it, and he kind of talked about, at the time he produced it, he was talking about, what about fractionalized NFTs? Could you break them up? He's like, and the point he made was, well, if you break it up into 3s, technically, do you need all 3 of them to make one whole NFT? So he kind of pondered that little bit. And at the time, really, nobody was doing that until Nestetitz came out and they said, well, they're going to be doing more like of a fractionalized, where they're going to go ahead and buy the artwork. They're going to create the NFTs of it, and then they're going to put it out that way. So I think go back to those points again. Let's break those down real individually. Let's zoom in on those.
So these are the 5 layers, right? These are the 5 key layers. Infrastructure, where the non-fungible tokens are stored. Number 1, then minting, the process that enables people to easily create an NFT. And what do you think about that part? Is it easy? Is that part going to be easy?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, what I'm more concerned about are the fees, the minting fees, and this is where I see places like, Sparkles and 888 and Flare Finance and the NFTs. I just feel like they're going to be able to execute a little bit better. I worry a little bit about the fees. The gas fees still apply. You're buying stuff, you're selling it, you got your minting costs. I just feel like everything's going to be better. I think that it's going to be interesting to see what kind of pull, because once you're established, you know how that works. You have Bitcoin, right? And that's all people talk about is Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And will they be? What kind of impact can they have? Can they make a dent in that? I also see that the ecosystem from XRP coming over too. I see that being a big influence. Maybe we're not so much into like, I don't want to buy something on OpenSea. I got to move my ETH, got to pay a gas fee, I got to do this, but who knows? I mean, we'll see, Jeff.
No, it's interesting. So then you get into the publishing and storage. So you talk about, OpenSea but that would be more like marketplace and swap area. This is what still gets me. So where the content and NFT entitles people to is published and stored, still gets me. The functionality, I feel like we're missing a hardware component or something to make that NFT cool. I get it, we get our phone, but if you get a cool NFT, don't you want to display it someplace? Wouldn't you want like a nice?
They have those though. They have the there's an NFT. There's like a frame that you can put on the wall, and it'll cycle your NFTs. It's like
oh, really? Okay, so I missed out on that.
And one of those digital frames
connected to the NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, so they do have stuff. I mean, if you're that hardcore, they do have stuff. You put it on your wall, it's powered, and you can like keep one of your NFTs on there. But see, to me, the NFT, then there's other ones where you get the lower. If you want the high res version, you have to get your, you take your key, you enter it, and boom, you can download the high res version. So doing exactly what you're talking about, Jeff, is, you know, you want to blow it up, and it's like, well, if it's real small, it's not going to blow up. So a lot of times I've seen a couple of the NFT series where they're offering like super 4K high resolution, where you do just that. You'd be able to put on your wall, you'd be able to put on it, you know, play it on your TV, whatever. But, you know, it's like baseball cards. You know, you've got that 3 or 4 super rare ones, and every once in a while you might take them out and look at them. But, you know, sometimes I think it's more about the collectible. And I think people are satisfied just putting it as their Twitter avatar. I see so many of them. And then it says in there, I own CryptoPunk 7025. It's like, yes, cheers to you.
Really cool.
You know,
that is cool though. It's a kind of a stamp of privilege. You know, that you're running around the social media space, and it's a think about, you know, what, you know, people want to show stuff off, right? The way they dress, the cars they drive, the homes they live in. But now in the digital age, you don't get to do that. You're on Twitter. What do you know, people still have that fascination with showing stuff off. So you're right. You get your NFT and you put it in there, and then you can put in your description, proud owner of CryptoPunks, blah, 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 whatever. And then people look it up. They're like, that guy paid $100,000 for it.
Check it and all of a sudden, man.
Check it out. Now people are running around, you know, like doing stuff like that. So this is interesting with, you know, with the areas of storage, you know, the 5 key points of the NFT. But I still think there's so much more to this, you know, because here they're looking at the real possibilities, you know, way of owning digital rights of items like computer games, songs, movies, and the like. But I think it goes well beyond artists and musicians and creators. I still think this is going to the point of, you know, real estate, business contract, stock. I think there's going to be so much more purpose of the NFT, you know, and you get a documented representation of your deed or whatever as an NFT. Man, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, you know, especially when you go to transfer that real estate. Now, you know, something, Chip, that they dug into a little bit more. I'm trying to find, here it is. So they go with the Ripple drop. Oh, what happened to the other Ripple drop?
I don't know. I deleted it.
What's that?
I want to take this question. So Anthony says, NFTs don't make sense to me. Why pay a fortune for something you can have identical JPEG? Well, I've got hanging on my wall a giant 10-foot limited edition art from a 2000 circus show at the Van Gogh Museum. Guess what? I have it. It's a reproduction. So what? But it's, you know, it's limited edition. And I've got other pieces hanging around the house that are famous artists. I could have that in a heartbeat. And they're now you can get them. Some of them you can get them online with really high 4K resolution. You see the brush strokes, everything in there. And so you have it. But you know what you don't have? Ownership. You don't own it. So you can sit there and look at it and observe the beauty. And you can say, well, I got the JPEG. I mean, that's one way to look at it. But if you're looking at it for like, wait a minute, I don't get it. I think the point a lot of people miss is you don't have the ownership of it. Anybody can have it. People put CryptoPunks in there they don't own that CryptoPunk. Why? Because when somebody flips it, they bought it for 100 grand, they sell it for 4.8 million. You're not getting 4.8 million for your reproduction. It's worthless. So again, that's where the bang for the buck is, as they say. That's where it's the ownership of it, that it's registered on that blockchain. And if you want to sell it on the resale market, yeah, go ahead. Like Jeff, remember that story about that guy who bought something for like maybe $1,300 and he flipped it for what, a couple million?
It was like 1.3.
It was insane. Can you imagine that? I mean, can you imagine? For an NFT, and you know what? Hats off to you. If there's, you know, they used
the investment.
Saul Bass is a famous designer who designed a lot of the big time corporate logos. And one time he was asked, you know, and even Steve Jobs talked to him about designing the Apple logo. And he said, someone asked him one time, like, what's the logo worth? He's like, as much as someone's willing to pay for it. You know, back then it was $500,000, or, you know, back then, and you look in the 70s and 80s, it's a lot of jack. It's a lot of jack today. But he kind of said, hey, whatever someone's willing to pay for it, if somebody's willing to pay for it, you know, and I was just looking at the Bored Apes, you know, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, that thing is off and running. And now they're doing like other series, because that one sold out. So now they're doing like injection things and some other little, like, along the way. But a lot of them are, you need that NFT to go play a game. You need that NFT to be part of a club. You need to be able to, it's your admission to do something. So there's a lot more behind it. And ultimately, I like to see an NFT where it pays you some kind of dividends on, like if there's a resale market for those NFTs and you own them, that you get a portion of that back because you're participating in it, some kind of a yield. But again, that's where you're talking about, Jeff, is where this is going to go way beyond art. I mean, art's just the first segue, right? Same with Ripple. I mean, Ripple, they're not going to stay in cross-border payments forever. There's other stuff they can do.
No, exactly. And that's what I find is interesting right now, right? So why is Ripple dropping all these tweet bombs all of a sudden? Day after day after day on NFTs. You know, are they doing it just because they're out of the news? Are they doing it because there's something going on and they want to keep reminding people, hey, by the way, want to learn why the XRP ledger is perfectly suited to power NFTs? Then tune in and listen to Joel Katz when he talked about it back in in April. You know, wherever it went. I don't know where it is now. But anyhow, you know, it's so they're doing that. And they're also, you know, I find that interesting. You know, and then they did the same thing with CBDCs. They're also highlighting CBDCs again. There's the stuff.
Well, Rob McDermott says
up. It's all over though. I've opened it 4 times now.
He says the vanity of it seems cool to, you know, Instagram influencers, but I plan to be wealthy enough to buy any NFT that I want and then not do so. So I can buy anyone I want, but I'm gonna pass.
But I'm not gonna do it.
But you have the choice. You always have the choice, Rob.
Jim D, NFTs will take on value based on the pedigree of the ownership chain. Exactly what he says there. Yeah, numismatic concept.
That's right.
I like it. I like the idea. It's good.
As we floated the ideas, we are working on a series. And in a chat today, somebody hit me and said, "Is it going to be lemon trees?" And I said, "That's a good guess, but not for the first go round." I'm not sure that has the mass appeal.
Now, Hans Loaded is saying, JV, it's like us trying to understand the use case of the internet in the 80s.
There you go. That's a good point.
It is true, except now we're a little bit more precocious, you know, and we're looking at things a little bit differently and really trying to analyze it. But I'm sure there are people in the space, you know, that were thinking about the internet back in the 80s and trying to envision the direction that, you know, that computers were going. Think about the big argument over mainframe versus home computer, right? I mean, they anticipated everything was going to be mainframe back in the 80s.
That's more era, Jeff. That's not anything I can. Too young, Jeff. You know, back in the day, I don't remember any of that stuff.
Back in the day, man. Back in your day, they were using punch cards.
Wow, that's rough. That's hardcore, man. Those are them's fighting words right there, boss. Man.
Oh, so check this out. Check this out, Chip. So here's another one with Ripple. They put this up 8 hours ago. From access to new quarters to faster, low remittance, RippleNet is helping hundreds of financial institutions around the world deliver a better cross-border payment experience. Take a look at their stories and then dig into their stories. I don't know when they posted all this stuff, and we've referenced it a lot, you know, but these are all companies that are working within the RippleNet ecosystem that will eventually start migrating to being in the utility of the ODL, the XRP, the XRP ledger, all that good stuff that we talk about. But you have Santander, you've got Money Match, Cross ENF, SCB. But check out how they bring this out. Like Santander, Ripple brings faster, cheaper cross-border payments to millions of retail and commercial customers. At Santander, Money Match, you know, in Malaysia. Then you've got Cross ENF in South Korea. Then you have SCB in Siam. What's that?
It's something on my computer. It's not internet connection, so I just tested that, but it's my video's blurry, my audio is cutting out. I'm just gonna bail. It's not happening tonight.
It's brutal, Chip. It's brutal.
So I'm not gonna continue on
and torture us the rest of the night.
No,
it's not bad. It kind of comes and goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand.
For a while, and then it cuts out for a little bit.
I have a feeling it's my computer again. It's the fans get jammed up with all kinds of lint, and my computer is running hotter than usual. So I have a feeling that's the problem. So
yep,
that's it.
All right. That's how it goes. And then we lose Chip. So, all right, let's go through this then. Then we got Centebi. Ripple helps them provide. This is in Korea as well. GoLance. Not sure where they are. Forget exactly what GoLance is. TransferGo. Money in ZenPay. We've got Neum, Mercury FX, Remitter over in Canada, and SBI over in Japan. It's exciting. Oh, Chip, you're still there. He's still there. He's going to get it worked out. He's going to get it fixed. We had some good stuff to talk about tonight. So, all right. So we've got all this good stuff going on. And then, so as we, kind of parlay all these things that Ripple has been posting out there. Obviously, there's a lot of exciting things, a lot of other things going on. We obviously have seen we've seen Ethereum, and it's interesting too, because as we move from asset to asset, I find it interesting to look at, some of the things that people are referencing in the space. Holy crap. Just as Chip bails on us, big support from Rob McDermott. This is a donation for Chip's new computer. Appreciate that massive support, Rob. I'll let him know. I'll say, hey, this is so you can get some fan around your computer. Do something with that. But you know what? If he was here, it's all because of the Apple computer. It's because he uses Apple versus the other platforms. Andrew Handelman, more for Chip's computer. Appreciate it. And Chip bailed on us. Doesn't get to see it. So, all right, let's look at some of the things that are going on in this bull cycle, right? You get a lot of things going on in the bull market. You've got the Ethereum bull cycle, long way off. Now, I find this interesting because I look at all the markets. They're all kind of trending up in the same direction. Obviously, with Ethereum about to hit 4,000, Bitcoin getting ready to go over 50, XRP over 125, $1.25, not 125, maybe one day. But I like looking at the fact, how they're looking at the direction and positioning of the asset, trying also to look at some of the growth, previous to this. And so one of the things that we're looking at here. So he's looking here, went from 1,700 to 3,400, not even a 2-time move, 2x move, but they're looking at, bigger price. Here it is. During this market cycle, I expect Ethereum to be able to get to the $10,000 mark. I saw someone else talking about 20,000. I saw people referencing Bitcoin at 100,000, 250. And these guys, obviously been in the space a lot. Anybody, you can put any number you want up there, but the one thing that is definitely for certain is the trend in the direction that everything's going in. So, so John Doe, he does not operate off of he works with, unless he works with Apple. He's an Apple guy. So Apple, there you go. Now you can kind of see the direction of the Apple. Now, if Chip would Chip's apple is a lemon on the lemon tree. Try to say that. You got to kind of go overboard with the apple, and this is what you get. So, all right. Here's some things that I wanted to put up. It would have been great, to have Chip on to reference some of this stuff, but there's some big news that's coming out of the SEC over the past couple days. And one of these points, this isn't a case of Ripple, but this is a case of the SEC kind of putting themselves in a position where they're supposedly going after a company to protect investors. However, the company is gone. So US SEC charges BitConnect founder with $2 billion cryptocurrency fraud. Now, this is like 3 years late. So now they finally filed a $2 billion. Look at this, though. The top U.S. security regulator on Wednesday sued the founder of the now defunct cryptocurrency exchange platform BitConnect over his alleged role in fraudulently raising about $2 billion from thousands of retail investors. That's massive. So now if you're out there and you're saying, what in the world, what are we even talking about? What is BitConnect? And if you don't have the pleasure of remembering, I'm going to quickly remind everybody all about BitConnect here. So hang on a second. Let me see if we can get this. This is, so this is kind of ridiculous, but this is, well, hang on. Got to stop. I got to share it with audio. So hang on a second. Here we go. BitConnect. How many people remember BitConnect? Sophie's saying, please. Okay, here we go. Come on. We got to see. We've got to watch the BitConnect real quick. Hang on. Well, let's wait for Chip. Chip, you got to get in here.
Let's get this fixed.
You fixed it. I was just talking about how the SEC finally filed a suit against the ex-CEO of BitConnect for $2 billion. So
3 years later.
Right, 3 years later. But I was going to say, for those that don't remember BitConnect and have the pleasure of having to suffer through BitConnect, I want to reintroduce everybody to the BitConnect.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, BitConnect? Hey, everybody. My name is Carlos Matos, and I am coming from New York City, New York. Let me tell you guys that I am so excited. I am so happy. I am really so thrilled to be right now sharing this amazing, glorious, super and exciting moment of my life with all of you guys. And let me tell you that we are really changing the world as we know it. The world is not anymore the way it used to be. No. BitConnect! Wow!
Holy cow, dude.
What an ass.
but the thing is, so hang on a second. So what's crazy? So I was looking around, Chip, and I was looking at these different videos from the BitConnect era. To me, man, I swear to God, BitConnect seems like it was like 10 years ago, 10 years plus. Seems like it was a whole different era, right? But
thanks for that, Rob. I wanted to thank Rob for that. But what you have to understand, is I've got a high performance Mac. Problem is that it sucks. The fans get clouded. It runs heavy. It runs hot. That's what ends up happening. So
excuses of the
I don't know why. I actually don't like the design, the way they constructed these fans on this particular model.
Yeah. All right, so Chip, you got to see this one, and then I've got one more to.
And one more thing, keep in mind, 95% of the cryptocurrency are bogus. BCC, and only one of the genuine and authentic BCC platform available in the world who makes ordinary people to billionaires. BCC and going to be billionaires. Come, join us, learn about the cryptocurrency. साथ में बोलेंगे, मैं बोलूंगा BCC. You speak Jindabad. Okay? Yeah. BCC.
Doesn't sound like a scam at all.
No, it doesn't. This is so legit.
Thank you.
Super legit.
India. Thank
you. Dude, it's so legit. It was so legit. So, oh my God, so legit. And then Chip, I feel sorry, Sophie. Sophie said that she said, please stop. Please stop. Man, then there's another one. It did the whole in 2 minutes. We got the whole BitConnect in 2 minutes. Now you got to see this one. I think this one is kind of important to watch, only because. Hang on we'll go through the ad only because this one kind of highlights, some of the issue. And granted, as you get into Chip, and I think this is so critical to put up these types of things because there's so many other scams that are still going on in the space. So, and it's not just the cryptocurrency space. How many times a day do you get a phone call, from someone saying that your Microsoft PC is malfunctioning and they need to log in, or your social security number has been hacked and the FBI has a warrant out for your arrest if you don't call them and give them gift cards. There's all sorts of scams out there. This is just one of the others, but man, it highlights, education is so critical, but you can get caught up in these scams. I mean, and it's so easy to do that, right? I mean, look at some of the platforms and it just, man, it's gut wrenching. There's like 3 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, but why did the SEC take 3 years to go ahead and file the suit? I mean, that to me is that in itself is kind of bizarre. What the hell took them so long? Like, why would they wait so long to actually file suit?
Yeah. 3 years. They're supposedly going after and helping the retail. There's no motivation here to support the investor at this point if you wait 3 years. Because 3 years ago, you knew they did all these bad things. You knew this stuff was going on. Yeah. You knew it happened, but they waited 3 years for it to happen. And yet here they are going after Ripple now too. It's crazy.
Well, speaking of that, so John Deaton made a pretty good point. Let's just go ahead and try to play this video here. Let's see if we can.
Until 2018, unlike equities and securities in the stock market, there was no policy relating to someone like Mr. Hinman or the chairman or any SEC staff member or lawyer. There was no policy that they couldn't own digital assets, right? What's that say? What's that imply to the market? It says that if you can own a digital asset, then it can't be a security because the SEC has a policy on owning securities. And if there is no policy as it relates to digital assets, we don't consider it a security.
He's making some good points there, Jeff. Why didn't they? Point. If they knew so much about, if Ripple was supposed to know 7-8 years ago, and Library and Kick and all of these other ones that got well, why didn't the SEC know that they would actually make an internal policy that actually governed themselves? But they don't have that. And I thought it was a brilliant move by Solomon to say, when they said, well, let's see if who owns cryptocurrencies over there. Let's see it. What do you got? Put them on the table. Let's hear it. And, the SEC were whining like little. Yeah, they were just crybabies. Like, oh, I can't show it. It's privilege and it's this and that. They got a million excuses in the book, and it all sounds pretty good, except it's all contradictory. So I don't know what that's all about, Jeff.
Man, Deaton's always hitting out of the park.
Yeah, he's always. So that to me, and again, it's like, well, part of the things you have to comply with certain things, and every company, usually at least a decent sized company, will have an employee handbook. These are the things you can do. These are the things you can't do. These are like, there's kind of guidelines to how to govern yourself. If you're in a certain sector, depending where it might be, you got to be very careful. If you're in banking, you're not on social media. They don't want you commenting. They don't want you participating. So it really depends. But to me, it's like, how do they not have a policy on it? So all these little cracks are getting exposed, and like Deaton pointed out in the tweet storm we read yesterday, where, well, they've got Mary Jo White, they've got Matthew Solomon, they have all these people that they've hired who have been on the inside, who know what a cluster it is inside, who know just how pathetic it is. They're probably like brushing themselves off, can't wait, so super happy they don't work there anymore. But we were told though it was the most amazing place to work, Jeff. The SEC.
That's why they're all bailing.
That's why they're all gone. That's why they're bailing.
Huh.
Exactly.
It's the best thing to do. So, hey, what was this? I was looking through the Keep file here, and you posted some interesting things on Remitly.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, it looks like they're settling some cross-border transactions using the Ripple ODL.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you want to pull that up, I would, but I'm a little bit, my connection's
yeah,
low.
it's okay. Trying to get the other article here. I'm gonna put it in here. I find that these are definitely interesting. So this first one, we've got Remitly post positive results ahead of their IPO. So that's the first one that we got to look at. So hang on, let me pull this up. Here we go. So on FinExtra, 15 hours ago, posted Remitly post positive results ahead of their IPO. Money transfer outfit Remitly has released an encouraging set of results ahead of its forthcoming IPO, doubling revenues to 257 million and having its net losses to 32.5 in 2020, with an expectation here in the first 6 months they had a loss of 9.2 million, revenue of 202 in 6 months. So obviously it looks like they're doing even better for 2021. And their IPO value they're anticipating to be around 5 billion.
Pretty badass, man, for a company just very new in the space and taking on like a MoneyGram type of a. I mean, they're out of Seattle. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, that they're taking on MoneyGram, Western Union. It's pretty impressive.
In 2011, so they've been around 10 years, making some big moves with a sizable equity investment from Visa. That's big, really big, and it's going up against old schools like you said, MoneyGram and Western Union. Look at this. They want to get into the multi-billion-dollar remittance market.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, big stuff. Let's see. Remitly has more than doubled its reach in the number of available receive countries from 49 to 100, while launching send functionality to Singapore. That's pretty big because their primary focus, the proprietary global network, used to move 6 billion in annualized volume. Look at that, in the West, to friends all over the world. And they're moving huge amounts of cash. And so now you get to know it and you're like, okay, these guys are going public. Now, then you put this other article here that actually came from, this was in May of 2020. So it's a year ago. However, Remitly partnered with Cross River Bank to speed up cross-border payments. Cross River Bank, a leading innovator, providing a banking service for tech companies. And you get into it, the new partnership will allow the Seattle-based Remitly to receive disbursements in near real time over international debit networks. Then you get down further. Let's see. Here we go. Cross River is one of the first US-based banks that will use the Ripple protocol to offer its business and personal banking customers real time, right? So here you go. So here's the RIP. Let's see if I can highlight that. Yep, I should be. Yep, there you go. Real protocol. So they're going to have their customers real-time international payments between the US and Western Europe. So obviously some big things going on with Ripple. Cross River Bank will integrate the most advanced settlement infrastructure for instant, secure, and compliant and dramatically more affordable cross-border money transfer services. So, Chip, that was pretty big, right? I mean, that was a year ago. Obviously, some big moves working with Ripple. And so obviously there's some more within that. And then you look at what's going on today. Did they all of a sudden stop working with Ripple? Did they say a year ago, May, they were announcing it? It was exciting. They're getting into working with Ripple, potentially even utilizing ODL, meaning they're using RippleNet. Fast forward and look at what they're doing, right? Their IPO, they're moving money. It looks very apparent that they're using RippleNet.
Yeah, we have one of these stories every day, at least minimum, that there's just stuff's moving along. People are like, well, nothing's happening. Well, it's going to happen pretty stark, pretty fast. And I think that's just, it's like, yeah, there's another Ripple partner in the news and they're doing this and there's another thing happening. It's pretty exciting, Jeff.
I think it's awesome. And you don't have to like, look for, secret areas of what's going on. You can actually, get to understand the development of what they're doing. And this was the whole purpose of RippleNet. The reason why it's exciting and the reason why you can look at Ripple as a successful project utilizing the XRP ledger, utilizing the ODL that they developed that uses XRP as their base asset. Now, if Ripple can do it with RippleNet and they're successful and they're rolling out to all these banks and using it, that means that the XRP ledger functionally is amazing, right? That means it's tested, it's proven, it's working, it's in the real world, and it's now usable by projects anywhere, right? This is like the main one. This is number one. So, man, I think there's a a long way to go yet. A lot to do here. Oh, shoot.
It's like your phone is ringing. I didn't hear it.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear it?
No, I didn't hear it. You got the kill switch on.
I got the kill.
Yep. Got the kill switch on.
I do. So, man, so that's good stuff. It's all good stuff.
It is all good, yeah. It's all fantastic, terrific. Hey, I was just curious. I mean, are we going to be broadcasting Sunday? I mean, here in the States, it's a holiday on Monday. So
yeah, oh, we can. I don't see why not. Labor Day's on Monday. People will be like, "Hey, where's our Sunday show?"
Where's our Sunday show? Where is our Sunday show, man? We deserve a Sunday show. We don't have a Sunday show. We need one.
Now, Monday is a different story.
Well, why is Monday a different story? Monday's the same. I'd rather think it would be. Yeah, Monday's like normal, back to game on. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
I'll be gone Monday. Actually, I'm going to be gone Monday and Tuesday.
You gone Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah.
Where are you going to be?
I'll be at my parents' house on Monday. And
there you go.
Got dinner there, and then we got Tuesday as well.
Where do you go?
At a friend's house on Tuesday. So it was a big deal. I had to go find wine for these, for these dinners, and it was an interesting project, narrowing down the wine I was going to get. But I found it. I was successful.
So Coinbase launched a new sweepstakes. Not that they've ever done that many, but if you guys know who Mr. Beast is, they've officially unleashed the beast of all sweeps. Here's how you enter to win 100,000 in Bitcoin. Look, take it, man. You follow Coinbase, you follow Mr. Beast, and you reply with hashtag CoinBeast sweepstakes. And there's Mr. Beast. There you go.
Nice.
That's all you have to do. You got to go follow them, follow Mr. Beast, and that's it. I'll throw it in there. You guys sign up for that. I hope somebody from the OTC family can win that. That would be awesome.
That'd be sweet if people register for it. Get it listed up there on the Mr. Beast.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy. I mean, sometimes like tag 17 of your friends and then have them tag 3 friends. And this is simple. You follow Coinbase, already follow Mr. Beast. I follow Mr. Beast,
Yeah. Mr.
Beast is making like 11 or $15 million a year. Isn't he, Jeff?
He's making pretty large bank. It's insane.
So today, Jeff, crypto Twitter blew up, and it was all over the one tweet. And I want to pull it up here for everybody to sort of get excited about.
All right, hey, by the way, Chip, Tony Fisk is saying your connection's lagging. You may want to feed the hamsters powering your dial-up modem.
That is so funny. I forgot to laugh. Because I'm sure I love having a slow. It's not my connection. It's something going on with my computer. But anyway, you guys are gonna have to suffer through it. Otherwise, I'll be bailing anytime. Because I've been under the weather all week, and I don't need the hassle. Let's put it that way. Reese Witherspoon bought her first ETH today. Let's do this crypto Twitter. So that exploded the internet. 20,000 people. Now, do you know who Reese Witherspoon is?
Nope.
Jeff? She's an actress. You guys know her, right? You guys have seen her.
We know. We know Reese. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
actually shocked to see this. Yeah.
So then, Dick, of course, I guess you didn't know about the gas fees. Ouch! Did you really? Did you already hold Bitcoin? Like everyone's raising with Reese. Let's talk crypto in an interview. Whatever. But let me show you who Reese Witherspoon is. Reese Witherspoon just sold her company for $900 million. So anybody on Twitter telling her what to do can back the F off right now, because she knows what she's doing, and she just sold it. Hello Sunshine. You ever heard of it before? $900 million sold north of, actually.
What
it's
is
a
it?
It was a media company. It was backed by the private equity firm Blackstone. It was Blackstone the one that purchased it. Witherspoon and Sarah Hardin, Hello Sunshine CEO, and the board of the new company, who continue to oversee day-to-day operations. Wall Street Journal first reported the news of Hello Sunshine's sale. Still unnamed media venture by Blackstone will be run by former Disney execs Kevin Mayer. So, to all the yahoos like giving her advice and telling her what to do, come on, man.
She did pretty well. That's a nice exit.
It's
you
a
can
beautiful
exit with $900 million. It's not too bad.
No,
I'm sure she didn't sell it for Ethereum.
No, but it's so funny as everyone's like, oh yeah, everyone's a crypto expert. They gotta like chime in. Oh, did you do this? Did you do that? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
I was asked to star in Legally Blonde 3. Yeah, she did do Legally Blonde 1 and 2, I believe. Now, if Tony Fisk knows that, it's maybe more disturbing, I think, on so many levels. I mean, it's pop, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've been under the weather all week, guys. I came back from Chicago, and yeah, it's been a rough week for me. Put it that way.
It is true.
Let's put it that way.
Are you under the weather or over the weather?
I'm under it, man. I'm under it. The good news is no COVID, though.
That's good. That is good news.
But then my doctor told me I got the quick test and I still could be positive. I'm like, well, look,
that's such nonsense. Come on.
It's day 5 of this. I think I'm all right,
Yeah, that's ridiculous, though. You either get the 24, 48-hour one. What are you going to do the 1 week when they keep magnifying it until they discover the existence that is there anyways?
Yeah,
come on.
They amplify it so many times. Wow, how do we get on that? But
and yes, the common cold is making a comeback, by the way. The common cold, it's gone away for a while, but it is making a comeback.
It is making a comeback, and I can totally attest to that. So
Mr. Wright said, Chip, your blood alcohol level is low. Raise it and kill that bug you have. See, that's exactly what I was telling Chip the other night. I said, you feel a little off. You got to go straight to the whiskey. Get some Irish whiskey, a couple of that, and you're good to go.
Maybe every time.
You know, a bit of children's Benadryl, and you're all set.
You take it at night and you pass out. It's the greatest thing in the world. That's why you're like, did it work? I don't know. I fell asleep. Nobody knows.
Yep.
Nobody knows, Jeff.
Nobody really knows. Nobody's 100% sure.
Nobody can be 100% sure. No, not at all.
So, hey, did we mention what's going on with Singapore? Man, Binance keep getting smacked left and right.
Man,
I don't think
Jeff.
Binance can't keep it straight. I thought when we were talking about the NFTs or whatever they're talking about with the art yesterday, I'm like, man, maybe they got over this thing. Let me try to pull up both of these here. But man, I really thought that they were over it, but apparently not, because Singapore's regulator places Binance on investor alert list. Man, they're getting left and right, because look at this. Binance.com, they added this alert signaling that crypto exchange does not have a license. I really believe that Binance, it overreached. They grew too fast, too big, and they put themselves in a position where they started to experiment outside of the crypto space, and they started moving into the traditional stock, and they tried to start, doing, tokenized securities and fractionalized derivatives, and they're doing all the things of the traditional, and they're too big, man. They just put themselves out there I was waiting as they started unfolding. I'm like, someone is going to smack them. And then we saw the UK and then Singapore and then this one. And obviously something's going on in the US because Brian Brooks said, hey, I'm out, good luck, but I'm not going to deal with this, but something, and it's all over the place. Look at this. Singapore's financial regulator says Binance may be in breach of the Payment Services Act for soliciting business without an appropriate license. Now, that may or may not be true. They may or may not have done that, but the news is out. And, that
Singapore is so crypto friendly. For them to come out and say this, I was like, wow, I wouldn't have expected Singapore to say that, right?
Yeah, but Singapore, man, if you spit on the street, no, there wasn't. Didn't that one kid, he was in Singapore years and years ago, he spray painted something. He was an American kid. His family was living over there and they caned him.
He had it coming, Jeff.
He was spray painting on the wall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he had that coming. He had a public caning. And you know what? He never did it again. It turns out nobody else did either. So corporal punishment sometimes works, Jeff. What are you going to do? Then there was that kid in Singapore. I remember the kid in North Korea where he grabbed a poster off of the wall. It was one of the official posters, and he grabbed it for a souvenir. And then he came back a vegetable, and then died soon thereafter. So it's like, you got to respect the laws of the country you're in, and sometimes you shouldn't go to countries where they're, if you can't spray paint the wall and get away with it, well, maybe you shouldn't be doing that then.
Maybe we should stop spray painting. Yep. But this is, I think, what's going on with Binance in Singapore. What they're doing over there is comparable to spray painting in a wall in the finance space. They're basically spray painting the financial markets and the businesses with whatever they're offering. Instead, the Singapore regulators are like, whoa, wait a minute.
Why do you think
got without a license?
Why do you think Brian Brooks really left? I mean, Brian Brooks, Brooks leaves, and all of a sudden there's all this fallout. I mean, the difference about Binance.us is they're using the license of a company out of California to do all their trading. They contracted that out. They don't do it themselves. But by the same token, it's like you kind of get a little worried. A guy like Brian Brooks is like, I'm out of here. I saw Christian Carlo, I think it was a BlockFi. He was at one of these boards, 4 months. He's like, I'm gone. So there must be something being said, something happening there that they just don't. I mean, especially when you got government guys, they smell a little something. They're out. They don't want anything to do that's not on the up and up.
It's too big. Like this is too big. It's one thing, Ripple going up against the SEC saying, hey, we disagree. This isn't a security. You think it is. We think you're wrong. And everybody that came from the SEC is still working at Ripple. Brian Brooks said, I'm done. Mr. B, XRP, what is up? Got you here. Catherine Cooley's still missing.
Yeah, that's so weird, man.
Where did she go?
I don't know, man. Nobody's been able to find her. I mean, I don't know. I kind of really thought the people from Ripple would be a little more concerned. They're like, they don't seem to really give a crap. I don't know. Seems awful odd to me. That maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. Is she off of? She off Twitter too?
She's been off Twitter since then. She's been no one's heard from her. And then Brian Brooks left. They promoted somebody else to that spot, but. We had her on the show, man. What a vibrant energy. Just loved her in that position too. And the way they did that, they announced it publicly. I'm sorry, man. That was dirty. It really made me feel, really think so less of Binance. It's like, okay, you're going to go out and get Brian Brooks. And then they were like, oh, we were surprised she didn't want to stay on. Well, why would you want to? You embarrass somebody like that by announcing it in public. Oh, and then you didn't tell her. So I don't know if she's laying low, but I am concerned about her. I mean, a lot of people have gone looking. A lot of people have. So if anybody knows about her whereabouts, man, it's pretty sad.
Nobody X is saying David Schwartz said he spoke with Cooley when it was first announced. She was missing. He said she's cool, but I'm sure she was getting paid a decent amount of money over at Binance, and so if she stepped back, maybe she said, I'm out of the limelight, but man, she seemed really fired up and motivated. But I do believe though she built it to a certain point. And then Binance they're doing all this stuff all over the world that they're getting slapped for. Thinking about the guys that are operating, and they kind of put Brian Brooks in an awkward position too, because they wanted him to utilize all of his know-how from the OCC and everywhere else. And they're like, well, he's in the know. He's going to get it to the next level. And somebody like that, if he's in the know and he's also in the know of something not so, kosher with Binance, I'm sure that had something to do with it. It must have,
But I mean, he did the right thing. He did the noble thing by saying, well, we had a different perspective on direction. Yeah, we want to do things. I want to do things legal coming from government. And these guys are like freestyling it all over the place. What the hell? Don't worry until they legally, they don't. Yeah, we want to. The government guy, it's like I want to stay between the lines. And they're like, not until someone says something first. You don't know how that went down, but Brian Brooks was there for 4 months, so it did take him a little bit of time to figure stuff out. I don't know. He was quiet for 4 months. It was like head down, like you didn't see him anywhere. Remember, it was like, yeah, he's the new CEO, and then nothing, and then he's leaving,
nothing. And then he's leaving. Yeah, nothing, and he's there. There's nothing. He's gone.
It's just weird. Well, it's good. I hope Catherine Coley, she ends up somewhere. Somewhere in a good spot, because I mean, there weren't a lot of brilliant women in crypto, and it was really great to see that sort of personality. So,
yeah, she was really cool. And then Mr. B XRP wants to bring in the easily discussed topic.
You missed it, Mr. B. We disagree with your tweet last night. We had it right here on the chain.
Oh, that's right. We did. Oh, we brought that up and we said, I wish Mr. B was here right now because, we had we saw things a little bit differently. And yeah, we don't believe there's a settlement in the horizon.
There's no reason to settle. The settlement gets you nothing, gets you zilch, nada.
Yeah, I think both Chip and I are on the same mindset that we believe it's got to go to trial. It's got to go in front of the judge. It's got to go a step further. And both Ripple and the SEC are all in on their thought process. It's got to go that way, right?
No, there was a good point raised. There could be a summary judgment based on the fair notice. That fair notice is alive and well. I mean, that video we played earlier about Deaton saying, well, they had no guidelines saying that people, in the company handbook that you couldn't own digital assets. And, you had missteps by Royceman. I don't think they were missteps. I think they were planned, right? Because it's I bet you both steak dinners, it settles. Deal? I think it's fair enough. I'll tell you what, though, you have to come down here for your steak dinner. And Jeff and I aren't hightailing it up to Orlando. But hell yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
but hang a second. No, summary judgment. I don't consider a summary judgment. The problem with the settlement, the way I see it,
summary judgment's not really a settlement, though.
No, it's not a settlement. A settlement. First of all, I don't see the SEC wanting to settle. They smell that they're trying to win this, and they're making so many missteps along the way. If there isn't some clarity about like, hey, by the way, we'll fine you for this during this period of time because it wasn't 100% decentralized. There weren't enough. You guys own more of the nodes, 50% of the nodes. But yeah. What about XRP? Well, what about it? So they can come after him anytime. They can go after the whole crypto world anytime. And this is why I think when Garlinghouse said, people are like, why didn't you try to settle with them? He's like, we did for 2 years because they weren't going to get the clarity around XRP. If they weren't willing to come out and say, now they could have done that. They could have pulled a Bill Hinman and said, hey, we're going after Ripple for sales of XRP from 2013, but we recognize that today's XRP is fully decentralized, has multiple use cases. Okay, game on, right? Nobody cares. But they didn't say that. And if they think an ICO of ETH in 2014 took a full year before that coin got out, and they said, and they're willing to say, well, today's ETH is totally decentralized. Hey, man, it followed similar paths, except one was an actual ICO. So steak dinners, I'm down for that, Mr. B.
We're in. And then we got Coining 203 is going to add drinks to that bet. I don't know what side he's on, though.
I don't know what side you're on, too.
Coining 203, what side are you on? The side that that you're
on,
on the settlement side, or is someone recording this?
Alex is on the free stake side. I'm pretty sure that's the one. He's gonna be like showing up for the stake. Alex is like, I'm digging in. I'm getting the free stake. That's awesome.
But we got to record. We have to draft the context of settlement.
Right.
Because it has to.
I like this, Jeff. We got a bet going. We got to find out what Alex is doing here. We got a bet with Mr. B. This is getting exciting. We got steak dinners on the table, and then we got drinks to the bet. So we'll see what that looks like. But we got to find out where Alex is.
And Mr. B's down here often, so that's good. All right. So Coining 203, where are you on this?
Settlement can include a statement of XRP not being considered a security. Now, over 90% of SEC cases end in settlement. Coining is with me. Oh, okay. So we got 2 against 2 now, huh? I see how you are, Alex. Turned on us, just like that. Slowly I turned, inch by inch.
Even though he said he's just there for the food.
That's cool. Well, look, if it does settle, I mean, those are the kind of bets I wouldn't mind paying, but I just don't see it. I don't see
I don't see how they're going to settle, and the SEC is going to acknowledge that it's not a security. I just don't see. The SEC's gone all in on this, and even Gary Gensler's gone all in, and he's even gone on Twitter. They've mocked XRP holders. I don't know how they settle at that point. I really don't. I think and if it goes to a summary judgment, I don't see that's not a settlement. It have to officially go in where the SEC says, we're done. We're willing to settle. If you're willing to settle, I don't see that ever, and yes, maybe 90% do, but those tempers, the ones that they lose, you'll never hear about it. Well, and in this scenario, I see it more of a loss.
Who has the inside scoop? You got four former, employees, high-ranking key people. Mary Jo White was a chair at one time. There's Solomon, who's one of the chief litigators. Used to be on the enforcement team. So to me, they got the inside scoop. They know what to poke around for. And you know what? That fair defense is great. And then you got some political shenanigans going on. You got the 2 Republicans coming out saying there's no clarity. Nobody knows anything. We don't know. And you have the judge saying at the hearing, say, well, suppose a bunch of the commissioners went to lunch and they talked about the fact that they didn't know if there's any clarity. And yeah, suppose they come out in a public statement in July. Oh yeah, Rob, you got to come along.
Rob McDermott's in it. Rob McDermott's in now. So
if Rob's in,
he's buying the appetizers.
Well, there we go. Bam. We'll have a big party. One bet will turn into like a giant meetup. How cool would that be, Joe?
John Doe is going to pay the tip.
Nice,
We're
John
seeing
Doe.
a settlement. I'll pay tip. We're seeing a settlement.
Okay. All right. He's willing to pay the tip. That's good. That's all right. I mean, okay. We shall see. And look, I mean, I don't think any of us would be disappointed with it, but just knowing all the missteps they've had and knowing how they're fighting tooth and nail and knowing, that tweet thread we read last night, they're psychopathic. It's like they'll fight this way until they get to the no, then they'll go this way, then they go that way. They're all over the board. I'm very confident that Ripple has kick-ass attorneys. They will dissect them. They will beat them like dead dogs.
Rob's flying in from Seattle, so he needs at least 1 day's notice.
Okay, well that's fair. We'll give you at least a 24-hour heads up. Okay, Rob, we're meeting tomorrow at 0200 hours, man. So we'll do that. But anyway, this is going to be fun. We'll have to.
Mel is going to bring a cake designed as an XRP coin.
Well, what we have to do is we have to finally bring Mr. B on here to talk about it, because we got to talk about this bet. We got to get things going. We got to hear his perspective on how he sees it falling out and how it's going to go. And I think that's what we need to do, man.
I think so too. You hear that, Mr. B? The challenge has been issued.
And just in closing here, I want to just 2 big shout outs, guys. Thank you for the, Rob McDermott for that $99 banger of a support. And I think there was another one that I hate when they go off the screen. It annoys me so much. But thank you guys for that. Really appreciate that. And, it's a new day. It's a new, tomorrow we're off. Jeff will be back on Saturday. We broadcast live Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And
hopefully Saturday. I'm going out Friday night. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you for joining the way you guys do. Thank you for supporting the way you do. Thank you for being the smartest people in crypto and coming in here late hours, especially from Europe or early over there in Australia and that side of the world. We just love you guys. You have anything else to add to that?
Andrew Handelsman.
Andrew Handelsman. Thank you, Andrew Handelsman. Big shout out to you.
I'll donate donations to help fix your computer.
Yeah. Oh, well, see what we can do there.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Hey, it was all good. I probably lost track. This is good. So we are good. Oh, by the way, if there's anybody in here, probably everyone here is already subscribed. But if you are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button because that definitely helps the algorithms of the channel. There you go.
On the chain. Subscribe.
Bell notifier and that thumbs up. And that's how you help on the chain. With that, we'll be back right here Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and then back again Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We think. Potentially.
It is Labor Day.
It is Labor Day.
I'm off Monday and Tuesday. So you're flying solo Monday, Tuesday.
Well, there you go. And that's all we got, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.